Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today as usual. In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys information on the Ripple Binance relationship and Spring's $500 million investment in over 20 companies. And also we're going to talk about the direct quote, which is some larger scale partnerships. And there have been some investments from Spring that are most likely pretty massive that have not been disclosed yet. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of today. So Bitcoin battling around 10,700 XRP, still fiddling around with the 40-cent range. We have wicked off support pretty nicely here. So hopefully we can start making some waves of the upside. So, first thing I want to cover today and make this very clear is that the head of XRP institutional liquidity at Ripple, she started in 2017 and is ending in 2019 as of today, and her name is Catherine Coley. Again, she's the head of the XRP institutional liquidity, and is now the CEO of BAM Trading, who is the operator of Binance America. And then again, keep in mind that due to recent regulatory clarity issues, Binance no longer allows residents of the United States to trade cryptocurrency on their main platform, so they launched a subsidiary exchange for U.S. residents, and this is what she had to say this morning. Now, this is where the topic really gets interesting because the speculation between Ripple and Binance is pretty strong. Now, after today's video, I think it's going to become much stronger after I display to you guys all this information. So, point being, you have somebody from Ripple going over and now working for Binance, and specifically their US arm, not in the overall main exchange, but just the Binance US sidearm, which is that Catherine Coley is now going to be the CEO of. And again, because of all the regulatory clarity issues, that's where, people in the US are not allowed to trade on Binance anymore. So they opened up that arm in the US. And again, now, if they're planning to open up an exchange in the US and comply with regulations, because that is necessary for clients to be able to take their fiat currency, come on the exchange and trade it for digital assets, that we could end up seeing XRP fiat pairs, specifically more so to the XRP to the US dollar. And that's where my personal speculation is kind of coming in, thinking that maybe Spring could have done something with Binance, considering the information we have for us today. So right there off the bat, Catherine Coley is now the CEO of Binance US BAM Trading Services. And again, huge potential to see some XRP to fiat pairs, thus when XRapid could get plugged in. And again, keep in mind, this is a 2-year employee at Ripple. She definitely has, I would imagine, personal attachments to people at the company at Ripple. So it's kind of, in a way, kind of a gateway to specifically talk to somebody at Binance, and then Catherine Coley, who was once at Ripple, could have influence in, doing some things for the XRP ledger, apparently, because if she did work at Ripple for 2 years and she was specifically head of XRP institutional liquidity, I imagine she's still got some XRP bags. That's no doubt in my opinion. So next thing I want to bring up, this was from late 2018, and right here you can see this is Ethan Beard, who is like the lead of Spring right now, from Ripple, Michael Arrington, head of XRP Capital, and CZ Binance himself. So again, it's quite clear that, there is some sort of relationship between Ripple and Binance. And also to make this even better, we see on Twitter today when Michael Arrington was saying, well done, Crypto Coley, and congratulations to Binance and CZ Binance for convincing a great executive to join. Some troll in the Twitter comments keep saying, oh, Binance gets stronger, Ripple gets weaker with this move, even though they got they got so many employees and they got like 60, 70 positions open. They are ready and they are actively scaling right now. And Michael Arrington actually says, I think it shows more ties between the companies, referring to Ripple and Binance. Good for everyone. Then CZ Binance chimes in and said it's good for both and everyone else too. So you could really see through the kind of indirect conversation they're having, it's like you're really starting to point to, man, Ripple and Binance really got to be in deep connections at this point, because Binance is a massive exchange, but the thing is they do not have fiat liquidity, which is what's necessary for an exchange to be an XRapid enabled exchange. You got to have XRP to fiat pairs to provide liquidity for these banks and institutions leveraging XRapid. And to make it even better, this was pretty recent, February this year, Binance did confirm on Twitter, it's 100% confirmed information, Binance wants to add Ripple's XRapid as a partner in the future. That's what he revealed on February 7th, 2019. Now, here's the thing. This recent Medium post made by Ethan Beard from Spring, there's a real key point I want you guys to read here, and that this really starts to spark my interest in, okay, who the heck are they actually working with here? So this is the most important paragraph, in my opinion, out of this whole publication. Spring has quickly grown to, and to date, we have committed $500 million in support of over 20 companies, ranging from independent developer projects to larger scale partnerships. Real key there. Our efforts have expanded to focus on two areas: build the best crypto infrastructure through contributions to open source crypto protocols such as the XRP Ledger and Interledger projects, and help innovative blockchain projects grow through partnership and investment. Essentially, getting institutions with funding from capital, you get these institutions and these businesses, you get them to integrate XRP within their platform. Just recently, we saw Imgur, 35th largest website in the US, I think like 30 million active monthly users, and they recently partnered up with Coil, and they are going to be integrating that entire platform with Coil to monetize content creators. So they're doing some pretty big stuff, right? Now, here's where it really gets interesting. One, okay, want to emphasize it one last time. I know I repeat myself sometimes, but again, these are ranging from independent developer projects to larger scale partnerships. Now, you got to keep in mind that Ethan Beard says that they've committed $500 million in support of over 20 companies. I saw this from XRP Center on Twitter. You go over to the Spring website, you go down to their partners, it only displays 12. Now, I'm not criticizing any of these companies, but all of these companies I'm seeing in here are more startups and are really new businesses building on top of blockchain. So I really wouldn't consider these, large scale partnerships. These are kind of more along the line of independent developer projects, or maybe, a little bit more than that. But, point being, these are not larger scale partnerships. These are, small to medium, right? Now, with all this Binance talk happening today, especially with Michael Arrington saying, I think it just shows more ties between the companies, and we have countless photos of people from Ripple connecting with the Binance team in person, it really starts to get the speculation going. Now, there's 12 companies, or there's 12 partners officially by Spring, and they say that they've invested $500 million in over 20, ranging from independent developer projects to larger scale partnerships. Now, that leaves a gap of about 8 companies that have undisclosed investment from Spring. Now, you got to think why. Well, I am thinking that when they're saying larger scale partnerships, that potentially, if we put our speculative hats on here for a minute, I'm thinking there could be some sort of mix going on with Ripple and Binance, and especially now with the Ripple executive leaving to be the CEO of Binance US, that we're really setting up to see here potentially Binance being an XRapid enabled exchange, at least in the US arm, because they are one of, I believe Binance is actually the largest exchange out there in terms of just all total volume, including altcoin and Bitcoin volume and like crypto volume, not explicitly fiat, but they are one of the most largest and most trusted exchanges out there. And I think Ripple, to really instill confidence in these banks that, using the digital asset XRP is going to work, you need these big name crypto exchanges getting plugged into XRapid. Sure, it's nice to have Bitso, nice to have coins.ph, but they are really, really small exchanges, not that much liquidity. Binance, on the other hand, is a massive, massive exchange, and I wonder if there's anything going on between Binance and Ripple that has to do with XRP and XRapid, especially kind of looking back on these photos and these statements from Binance, and now we got an executive from Ripple moving over to Binance, as well as them saying like, hey, we invested, Spring has quickly grown, and, they've invested over 20 companies, and the guy that leads Spring was literally meeting with Michael Arrington and Binance himself late 2018. It's like you could really see where I'm going with this, and that's why most likely I think that these 8 companies actually have unannounced, they have not publicly disclosed their investment from Spring. So really interesting stuff. That's what I want to show you guys today. It's just, I know it's a little bit more speculative, but if you just look at all the information here, it just really starts to get you thinking like, what could actually be going on here? Because Ripple, they have a big XRapid rollout plan taking place. They need fiat liquidity, and perhaps I think they could also use Spring to drive liquidity for XRP, again, to leverage with XRapid. So thank you guys so much for tuning in the video today. Really do appreciate it. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Oh, wait, no. First, we got to smash the likes and subscribe, and then check the links in the description, support the channel, and hit those post notifications so you never miss a video or stream. And as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in the video today. I'll see you guys in the next one.